All right, hello everybody, and welcome to Crafty Hour number 80 with Kourtney here at Scrapbook-N-Memories. So we are playing with the Echo Park kit tonight, and then that amazing sunbeam frame die that we put in the kit too for you guys. So I hope you guys love the kit as much as we do. We had a great time designing with it. There is so much you can do with that sunburst die that we had a blast. And always don't forget, if you guys miss our Crafty Hours live, you can go to our YouTube channels. So Scrapbook-N-Memories and Clipper Street both have a YouTube channel that you can go and find all the Crafty Hours, all the replays over there, because as you know, after 30 days, Facebook deletes stuff now. So go over and you can find them there on our YouTube channel. So thank you everybody so much for joining us. I'm just going to give it a moment while everybody kind of finds us. I sat a block on top of this one because it keeps popping up. It keeps boing, popping up. So I did have a little homework in the posted. And for the homework, we always get lots of questions. Where can we find the homework? We always post the homework in the Crafty Hour Creations Facebook group. So if you are not part of that Facebook group yet, make sure you are part of it. And if you're looking for past homeworks, all you have to do is go up and go to that Facebook group. Then in the search engine, you will see, you can search. You can just type in homework, or you can type in homework 80. And it will pop up. So you guys can always go over there and find the past homeworks in the Crafty Hour Creations Facebook group. So for the homework that I had you guys do, hello everybody, I see more people jumping on. For the homework I had you do, I had you just die cut some hearts out. Doesn't have to be exactly the size. It can be smaller, it can be larger. Well, it can't be larger, but it can be smaller, it'd be the same size. And that's why I kind of just drew this for you guys, because like I said, we always love our nesting dies, because they're a tool you can use over and over again. So this is the size of the heart I used. This size or smaller. It's 3 7/8 this way. It's 3 inches this way, and you needed to die cut 4 of them out. And I'll show you in a second why we did this. So 4 of them out. The back side was the gold cardstock, the front side was the pink cardstock, and this was in your kit, guys. So this cardstock was in your kit. You can punch it out of whatever you got, though. So you needed 4 hearts for that. If you don't have hearts, you can punch out 4 squares that are 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. I kind of tested it, and this size worked. So if you don't have hearts, do a square. Or if you want to wait and see what I do, fabulous. Do that too. And maybe you grab a heart die from your home store and change that. Okay, so that's what we're doing, guys. I see everybody jumping on. Hello, good Thursday night. I hope you all having a great day. I know it's cold just about everywhere. Everywhere is cold. Okay. So this card popped up in my Facebook feed. I think it was on a Instagram or something. And I was like, oh my God, I love the concept of this card. I've done it before with a flipping mechanism, which is this, pardon my reach, is this right here. So same base. We're using the same exact base. But I've done this card, and I think I did this in Maker Mania. I think I've done it in some other projects. But this card right here is the same concept of the card kind of that we're getting ready to do. Okay, so that mechanism flips and pops, or pops and flips. This is going to do the same thing. Up to curling. Oh my gosh, that's great. So here's what we're going to do. That's what we needed the 4 hearts for, guys, is to pop. Now, like I said, if you don't have hearts and you have squares, I did the measurements. You can put a square here, but the key is when it closes down, you want to make sure everything is tucked inside of the A2 card. So that is why I said heart or square, whatever you guys have. So that will work. So I think we're going to start with the interactive card. because I'm not 100% sure how long it'll take, and I want to make sure to get through this one to get you all the folds and everything. And then the other card is a shaker card, and if we don't get to this one, I think this one is pretty self-explanatory. That's a word, right? Yes. So you guys can kind of understand and do that one. And I'll just post the instructions if we don't get to it. So we want to get started with this one. Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday night. Happy Thursday. I realized there is one more piece of paper that I did not grab that I will grab. So what you want to do is grab your 4 hearts. So you have 4 hearts, all the same, pink on one side, gold on the other. That was your homework. That was homework. Then we're going to do a little bit of cutting. So I have my sloppy copy. I've got my sloppy copy right here. I always put this in my little inspiration idea box, and it has all my measurements on it. So if I'm ever like stuck and be like, I wonder what I should make, or I just go to my little sloppy copy bucket and I've got it. So here's my pieces. Here's where the measurements are. So I don't have to look them up. They're on there every time. So what we're going to start with is the base. And our base piece is going to be the cardstock that was in there. Now, if you guys just want to do it on plain white cardstock, by all means, feel free to do that. But I did it on this fun cardstock. And how fun is the cardstock that it is double-sided? I love that it has different colors on each side. So on the outside, it's pink. When we open it up, it's red. I love the Echo Park Cartabello papers that they do this. So this is actually the Cartabello line. So the first thing we need to do is our base, which is the one, it's red on one side, pink on the other side, and we're going to cut it 4 1/4, 4 1/4. I'm just making sure, I did mine in advance just to make sure I had enough cardstock. So 4 1/4, and then you're going to flip it and do 11. So 4 1/4 by 11. That is the piece of cardstock that is red on one side and pink on the other side. So go ahead and cut that. Realizing I have to grab one more piece of paper for my pile. Okay. And then once you have that cut, we are going to score it at 5 1/2. We're going to score it at 5 1/2. So we're just scoring it in half, okay? And then we're going to fold it with the pink on the outside and then score. I always like to take my bone folder and just make sure it's a nice, tight score. So that is our outside piece, okay? Our next piece is what I call the inner piece, which is the one that's going to have this mechanism in it. So the piece of paper we're going to do that on is the one that is teal on one side, love the teal, pink on the other side. This is the piece we're using. Okay, so we're going to put it in our trimmer, and it's going to be a hair smaller because it's going to line the inside. So it is going to be 4 inches, 4 inches by 10 3/4. 10 3/4. Okay, 4 by 10 3/4. And then we're going to score it in half, which is 5 3/8. 1, 2, 3. 5 3/8. Okay, and then we're just going to, you don't have to do anything with that one yet. We're going to come back to this one. Okay, we're going to come back to it. Our last one we need is the front of our card. The front of our card, which I love that teal and pink so much. We're going to use that for the front. And that one is going to be 4 1/8. 4 1/8. Whoops. Let me double check that. Where is... Mine is not 4 1/8. I think it's only 4 inches. Let me remeasure this, guys. Oh, I did mine smaller. So mine is 4 by 5 1/4. I did mine a little bit smaller because I wanted a bigger pink on there. Wanted a bigger pink. So let me change that. So mine is 4 by 5 1/4. Mine was a little bit smaller. I made it smaller than my original one. Okay, so 4 by 5 1/4. 5 1/4. So when we put that on the larger pink, a larger pink border on there. Larger than what we normally do. Okay, so there are those pieces. You're going to need a ruler, and that's where a 0 centering ruler kind of comes in handy. But if you don't have a 0 centering ruler, it's okay. You can still do it. But what you're going to do is you're going to put your ruler on, and you're going to find the center of your card. Okay, so there is the center of my card right there. And I'm going to find a pencil to make a mark. And what I'm going to do is go 2 inches on each side. So 2 inches there, and I'm going to put a mark, and 2 inches there. I'm going to put a mark. If you don't have a 0 centering ruler, it is going to be, where's my mark? Let me put, and we're going to do that at the top also. And I will give you the measurements in a second. Let me mark mine, and then I'll figure out what they are, because I want to make sure my measurements say they're right. So we're doing a mark there and a mark there. So we're doing 2 inches. 2 inches to the right, 2 inches to the left. That's where the 0 centering comes in very, very handy. Let me make sure this measurement is correct. If you don't have a 0 centering, you're going to mark it at 3 3/8, just a little bit more work, and 7 3/8. So that's what I put right there. 3 3/8 and 7 3/8 is where you're going to put your marks. If you have 0 centering, it's super easy. You're going to line it up at the 0. You're going to mark it at 2 inches, and you're going to mark it at 2 inches. And I'll give you guys a moment to mark that. Because this part is very important. So give me a thumbs up when you guys are ready. And that way I know you're ready to move on. Because I don't want to lose anybody on this. Or maybe Facebook is not working tonight and giving me any comments. I haven't seen any comments lately. Okay, I saw a thumbs up. I see 1 thumbs up. If you don't have one of these Crafters Essential Rulers, guys, I love them. I kind of created and invented them. We make them at the store. Clipper Street has them also. It has all your measurements on here to a 1/16 of an inch on the top, and then it has 0 centering on the bottom, and it has all your measurements to a 1/16 of an inch, so you don't have to count those tick marks. I call it my Crafter's Essential Ruler. We also have them in a 6-inch form also. But I use my 12-inch the most, I will say. Okay, so once you have that measured, you're going to grab your trimmer or your scoreboard, whatever you guys have. And what we're going to do is I've got my top left tick mark and my bottom right tick mark in the track. So it's lined up. Then I'm going to score it. So what we're doing is crisscrossing over. Can you see that? So here's our center line. Here's our top left to our bottom right, and we're going to crisscross it. And then we're going to repeat the same thing on the other side, and we're making an X. Making an X. Oops, my blade came off. Okay. So you should have something like this. I think you can see it. We've got an X through the center, and then we have our center line. And I'm just going to take my eraser and erase my mark while you guys, I broke a nail, are working on that. I'm just going to erase my marks. I love my little click eraser. This thing is the bomb. It's a white eraser, so it doesn't leave any marks. I love mine. Okay, so everybody got that? So now what we're going to do is we're going to fold on those creases. So essentially what we're doing is, I guess you could say it's an L shape. Okay, so we're kind of folding and making an L shape. We're going to open it up, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to make an L shape. Okay, so you should have something that looks like that. And then we're going to fold it in the center also. So all those score lines, we're just reinforcing those score lines. And then I'm going to fold it back on itself too. Okay? So I'll kind of wait till you get there and kind of give me a thumbs up so I know we're good to go. All right. Let me hit refresh. I am not seeing any comments. Maybe Facebook. Maybe you guys are just busy crafting. Busy folding. Okay. So we're going to bring our base back in. And our red's going to be on the inside. And we need to find the center point on this also. So I'm going to put my ruler on here. And you just basically wiggle your ruler both ways until you get the same measurement on both sides. And then I'm going to put a mark. And there is the center of my card. Okay, we're going to take this piece and the sides are going to fold in and squish down. So in and down. And I need it to be a little bit straighter than what it did. And then we'll score. In and down and score. Okay, great. I see some thumbs up. Thank you, Keitha. Okay, so this now is our mechanism. Isn't that cute? Super cute. That's our mechanism. So what we need to do is glue it in here, and we are going to center it on that mark. So this little tip needs to go to that mark, just like that. Okay, so I'm going to put my glue, and for those of us in the U.S., fingers crossed, cross your fingers, cross your toes, cross whatever you got. I talked to my glue guy today, and they think, it's only been a year now, but they think they've worked out all the approvals and all the documentations and all the insurance and all the special stuff that they have to have and permits to ship this new solvent glue that we want to carry into the U.S. So it might be, they're saying about 2 months, but they think they're good to rock and roll. So I will let you guys know as soon as we are able to get it in the U.S. because I know how much we love our solvent glues. So you're going to kind of center that on, and then you're going to push your card down and make sure your card closes. I know, fingers crossed, guys, because I am about out of my Hellmar. It is scraping the bottom. So fingers crossed. I talked to the glue guy today, and they think they have it worked out. So they're saying probably about 2 months for us to get that glue. Okay, cross my toes, my fingers, I'm crossing it all. But stay tuned. I will let you guys know more info. Okay, so that piece is glued in. I'm just going to make sure she's all nice and center. She's all glued in. The card folds down. Then we're going to put the other layer of glue here, and then we're going to close it down. Okay? So the other layer, and then close her down. love my solvent glue. It just gives you a little bit of wiggle. It doesn't warp your cardstock like the water-based ones do. I mean, it's great for glitter. I mean, I know I'm preaching to the choir. I know you guys all love it, so we are working on it. We are working on it. It's only been a year now, but good things come with patience, right? Isn't that what they say? Okay, so we're going to press that down also. Just going to press her down really good. And then when we open it up, there we have that little popping mechanism. Isn't that cute? Isn't that super cute? Okay, so here comes the tricky part, because you want this to fold down and you want it to pop up. So you can only put the glue in 2 spots in order for it to mechanism, okay? So and I'm just going to draw with a pen because we're not going to see it. So this rectangle, triangle right here, and this triangle, which I did bad. I went outside the line because you're actually going to see that now. So don't scribble all over yours. I was trying to stay in the lines, and right as I thought it, I did it. But anyways, handmade with love. So we're going to take our hearts, and we're going to put one right up here, and we're just going to kind of center it. And you don't want it all the way in the crease. So you can see how I kind of backed mine out. And you're going to glue that first heart flat. So this one is going to be completely flat. And if you don't have a heart, then you can put a square on there. I gave you measurements for the square, so the square did work. I can't believe I took that pen and did that. Yes, I can. I can believe it. I know which one Ken's getting for Valentine's Day. Okay, there's that. Then we're going to do the same thing. Put another heart down here. And you're going to put your heart right there. So you got 2 hearts that are glued flat. Now these 2 hearts are going to be your ones that are going to pop. So these are going to be your flip and pop mechanisms. Your mechanisms on there. Now you only want to put the glue on this one. And don't go all the way to the edge, because you want to have a little of that turquoise. So I just laid mine flat. I put my glue on that one. And then I just go in here and center it up so it looks... The tip, the center is right on that line, so it's centered up, but it only has glue right here. Okay, and then when you close it, see how it pops? Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing over here. So you're going to put the glue kind of in the center. And then you squish it. Yeah, I have 5 hearts. Somehow I cut an extra one, I guess for good luck. You're going to lay it down there. You're going to center your point right on that crease. And you're going to glue that. See, I shouldn't have done the scribble pen. I was trying to show you where I was putting the glue, and I got a little carried away. Okay, so there's our hearts. Okay, that's going to pop. Okay. The other piece that we already pre-cut goes on the outside. So we're just going to glue that teal to the outside of the card. Easy peasy. Okay, I'm going to get our sloppy copy out of the way because we don't need that anymore. Like I said, I cut out an extra heart. Okay, for the outside, we need to look for some pattern paper. You're going to look for this one right here that has the hearts on it. This was one of my favorite ones. I absolutely loved that one. And then you're also going to look for this one right here. It has the cut aparts and stuff on it. So grab those two pieces of paper. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Thank you, thank you. Okay, the first one we're going to cut is the heart. The heart. It is going to be 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And our paper is 6 by 6 by 5 1/8. So once you have that piece cut, it is going to fit perfectly into that little turquoise frame we made. And we're just having an itty bitty little bit of turquoise on there, showing around the outer edges. And that looks perfect to me. And then we're just going to glue that one down flat. It is a little lumpy bumpy to work with, but don't worry, it'll all kind of glue flat. Hi, Scruffy. What you doing, sweetheart? Okay, the next piece we're going to grab is this one, and we're going to cut everything apart. Now, the top of it, you're going to cut a very, very, very thin piece, just because yours might be straight, but mine is wavy, so I am cutting off just like this. I am just making the top of it flush, okay? That's all we're doing, making the top of that flush. Then we are going to cut the pieces apart. So we're going to cut right there, and we have our stripe, and we're going to use that. And then we're going to cut our hearts right there, and we're going to use that. I'm going to cut a little bit off the top because I have a little bit of green on the top of mine. I'm just going to shave that off. Can't. Scruffy. And then we're going to cut off this Valentine. Shut that heater off. I don't want her to burn herself. Okay, so here's the pieces that you have. You've got the Happy Valentines, you've got the green, you've got the hearts, and then we also need to dig out some red. Now you might have scrap. She's fine, just leave her, just shut the heater off. I just don't want her to burn herself. You're going to have a red scrap. So what we're going to do, and I'm not going to measure it, I'm going to eyeball it. We're just going to put that little Happy Valentine's Day on top of that red, and we're going to mat it. We're just going to mat it on there. Okay, I'm just eyeballing it. We're just going to put it on there and have a little mat all the way around it. Just to make that red kind of pop. And then we'll just take our trimmer and trim it. A little short on that side, but I'm fine with it. Okay, so we're just matting that piece. Actually, I think I might have to look for more. I might have to look for another scrap of red. So you're just matting that piece just like that. Okay, I'm grabbing another piece of red because I ran out of textured red, but it's okay. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, again, we're just going to kind of eyeball these pieces. So these pieces I put on here, and I just built my borders. I just built borders on here. Okay? Same thing. So we are going to take this piece, again, quick, easy. We are not going to measure. We are just going to eyeball. We're just eyeballing now. We're going to take that piece, that strip, and we are going to glue the strip onto our red and just leave us a little red all the way across it. Okay? So we're just building this stripe out of scraps. Okay, so put that strip on there. And then we're just going to slice it also. Just doing some eyeballing. Okay, so there's that piece. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put it on that green stripe. And this is why I told you to cut it very, very small. We're going to use this side because this side, it's not going to fit. It's going to show you that hole. So we're going to put it on here and just eyeball it again. And we're just going to come down a hair from that dot. Okay? And we're going to glue that strip on too. So we're just layering the strips that were on the cut part. So we have that piece, and then I'm going to cut this end just to kind of down a little bit to match the other end. Oops, that was a score. We want to cut it. Okay, there we go. So that is a great way just to kind of use your scraps, build a little interest, build a little design. And there we go. So then we're going to glue this on the outside of the card. And what I did, I just glued and snipped it. If you want to measure it, it should be 4 1/4. Yep, it is 4 1/4. So if you want to measure it, you can measure it and slice it, or you can just glue it. I love it, Amy. Team eyeball. We are eyeballing it tonight. We are. Team eyeball. So 4 1/4. And then that strip is going to be glued on just like that. We're going to glue that strip on the bottom. Your team eyeballing. It doesn't always have to be down to the 1/8. And that strip is going to get glued on there. Great way to use up the scraps and great way to get more use out of your paper. Because technically your paper is a 6 by 6, but if you use that little holes at the top, you can get a bigger piece out of it. Okay, and then we have this piece, and we're going to pop that on top. Okay, we'll put foam on there and pop her on top. Get out my big guy. Fully stocked all our foam tape today, so I was running out myself. I was trying to make shaker cards and I ran out of those skinny strips, and that just does not work. So we are fully restocked with all the rolls, all the squares, the thin strips, the thin squares. Everything is back in stock. Team Measure's trying. I appreciate you trying. Okay, so now you're just going to eyeball that again and put her on, just like that. Okay, so then when you open it, you have that beautiful popping mechanism. Isn't that great? Doing. Okay, so in our paper pad, I didn't grab these papers. I need to grab the papers. I totally forgot about these ones. The teal and then the heart. So we need to grab the teal side and then the flowers. Teals and the flowers. There's the teal. You know me. I love the teal. This dot was one of my favorite. I think I have embossing folder. It looks like that. If not, I need to because I love that print. And then we're looking for the hearts. Sorry. So you can leave this spot blank if you don't have your hearts. But you're going to take those pieces to nest. Is that the right size? That is the right size. So you're going to need 2 out of this one and 2 out of this one. So I'm going to die cut those hearts off the thing really quick. Die cutting my hearts because I need this scrap. Okay, so we're going to die cut your hearts just using the nesting dies, the next size in. And we're just going to glue those flat. I want you guys to see where everything came from. So we'll complete this card because this card, sometimes when I'm designing, I'm cutting pieces out, I'm laying things down, and then sometimes I'm like, I wonder what I want to put here. What do I have a scrap of? Or what do I have a little piece of? And that's where my eyeballings come in. That's where I'm like, ooh, let's do a border of this that matches that perfectly. Ooh, let's add that. So that's where I kind of wanted to show you my process and kind of how I come up with some of the designs and do some of the ideas that we've got. So we're going to put those guys on. The hearts were a little tricky to find pattern papers because you don't want a paper that's upside down here. Because your heart is upside down, but I didn't want my pattern upside down, like these little upside down. So I went with the rose side because it was very versatile. And then I felt like the turquoise was very forgiving. Okay, so there's that. So then we have the borders. We have our stickers, our sticker sheet. I'm going to pull out our sticker sheet. And sometimes I cut all of my, do you have any of the heart? Keitha, I have some more coming. I have the, so sometimes what I wanted to do, I wanted a little border down here. And I love the stickers, but I felt like this sticker got lost on there. So this is one of the border stickers. And what I'm going to do is, we're eyeballing again, guys. I have this scrap piece of paper that's going to match the hearts. I am going to, hold on, mine, I think I ripped it quite flush. I'm going to put that on there, and we're eyeballing again. We're just eyeballing. And I'm going to put that sticker on there so I feel like, is that crooked? Nope, looks straight. I'm going to put the sticker on there. And then again, I'm just going to eyeball it and have a little turquoise on the bottom side because I felt like that sticker, I really wanted to use that sticker, but I felt like it got lost. Oops, and my paper shifted. If you cut too much, you can always go back and cut more. Okay, which I'm going to flip it over and try, and that is not straight. So let me try to straighten her up. There we go. Now we're straight. And this needs to be 4 1/4. So that's going to go on the inside of our card at 4. I just cut 4 1/2. 4 1/4. I said the correct measurement and cut the wrong measurement. 4 1/4. The inside, because if you do, your card won't really fold down flat. So I didn't do that. So we're going to take this piece right here and we're going to glue it flat. We're going to glue her flat at the bottom. Okay. And I do have a hangover, but I'm going to leave it. Okay, so there's those pieces. I'm not going to cut it because you guys can maybe do a different word. But this right here, all these sentiments, this is where I got Happy Heart Day and My Love. So maybe you want it to say a different word. We're going to leave that off so you guys can come back and add that. Thank you, Julie. I know this collection is gorgeous. I think we played with the Valentine line last year from Echo Park and Cartabella too and loved it. Then this little rose here is this little guy here from your sticker sheet. And then I thought you needed a little bow. So the bow is also from your sticker sheet right there. Okay, so there's those 2 stickers. Then on the outside, this right here, the outside, is this little car right here. Okay, that little car right there. You're just going to take that out, and then put your foam on up with my foam. So this is popped, and then that is also popped. Okay, so that's where that little trick that I love to do, and I've been doing this in scrapbooking for probably 20 plus years. Faux brads, as people are doing it. It's just something I've been doing for years. What it is it's a standard punch. Just a standard punch, nothing fancy. And I just go into some black cardstock and I punch some holes. Okay, just a standard hole punch in black. Get my holes out, and then I glue them down. So it gives you the look without the bulkiness of a brad. But wait, we will kick it. We will Emerald Magassi this here in a second, and we will kick it up a notch. Okay, so I'll just put that there. And then I'm going to put one on the other side. And Lord knows, probably everybody has a standard hole punch. And we probably always have lots of scraps in every color. And this works perfect. So I put that on there. And then the last thing I do is glue and glaze works good. Glossy accents works good. Whatever you have. Whatever you have that has a glossy finish to it, you just go on and put a dollop on the top, and then when it dries with a glossy lid. So it looks like either an enamel accent. So this is a great way to make enamel accents if you don't have them. It's also a great way to make a faux brad. Now, right now, mine is ghosty because it is wet. But when it dries, and I'll go sit mine somewhere so I don't stick my hand in it, it does that. And like I said, I don't know if anybody's ever done this. This is something I've been doing for years when I used to scrapbook. I just make faux brads. Isn't that fun? And then what is great, so this is a standard size hole punch. If you have a crocodile, so I call this one large. If you have a crocodile, your 3/16 is a medium, and then your 1/8 is a small. Right? Okay. It's all about the hints and tricks. All about the hints and tricks. Okay, so there's that. There's those. Okay, that is card number 1, guys. Card number 1. I had to go sit that in another room. Otherwise, you know what happens? I'm going to stick my hand in that wet glossy. And like I said, use glossy accents. This one's called Glaze and Glue by Spellbinders. Anything that has that clear finish, it just gives you a faux enamel. Now, you could totally probably sprinkle some glitter in it too while it's wet. I mean, doesn't hurt to try it. And give it a little bling bling also. Okay, thank you, thank you. I hope everybody loved that. It's a fun one to do. And I can't wait to see you guys try different shapes. I think a St. Patrick's Day kind of charm would work in there. Just different shapes. I think it'll work. I think it'll be great. The only thing is, and I kind of played with my nesting dies, and I went up and down, same thing with my square, is I cut my square out, and then I laid it in there, and then I closed it down, and if anything, the biggest one's the top, if anything poked out the side, I was like, nope, we need to go a little bit smaller. So I just played with scrap paper until I got it down to a size that when you fold it in, nothing pokes out. Okay, so play with it, experiment. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. And then post it over in the Crafty Hour Creations group too. And then for my girls, put it in the Scoop group also. That is kind of our little message board where you guys can share ideas. Okay, so our next one is going to be our shaker card. I think we might go over a little bit, but you guys basically know how to do a shaker card, so we can get most of it done. So the first part we need to start with is our outer edge. I told you to grab a piece of black. It could be black Miri, it could be black cardstock, it could be black glitter. Sun dye looked beautiful in black. Now the one I'm using, and I just lost the packaging, is this set from Sizzix. It's the monochromatic, I don't know what we called it. I'm using the one called Brush Metal, but anything in here looks good. The glitters, the Miris, any of that. Yes, Shamrock. Shamrock would be beautiful with that. Okay, so our black piece, we're going to go all the way down here. We need to cut that black piece to be 4 7/8 by 6 1/8. Okay, what I did when I designed this card is I started with the frame. So I started with the frame, and then I'm like, I didn't like the paper on it, and I needed paper out a little bit. So I did a measurement out a little bit bigger, and then I'm like, oh, that white just needs a color on it. So I measured out a little bit farther and went to my red, and then I was like, oh, I need to bring that black back in to introduce this black. So I put the black layer. So this card did not design from the outside in. It got designed from the inside out, if that makes sense. Okay, and then I'll just put it on, mat it on a piece of white cardstock or something for a card base. But that's kind of how that one came about. I started with the die on the inside and then worked my way out. Okay, so our glitter is going to be 4 7/8. Let me make sure I can go this way. Oh yeah, plenty of room. So 4 7/8. It can be Miri, it can be glitter, it can be cardstock, whatever you guys have. No right or wrong. No right or wrong. So 4 7/8 by 6 1/8. Uh-oh, 6 1/8 is tricky on this one. I think it's that mark. We're about ready to find out. Hold your breath. Hold your breath and cut. that the right size? My hair off, but you know what? We're going to make it work. That trimmer was a little tricky. Okay, so there's that one. So there's our piece. Now we need to gut it. We're going to cut the center of it out with our die. So we're going to grab that sunbeam die that was in this kit. Is that not a fabulous die? I cannot wait to see all the fun designs you guys come up with this die. It is so cool. I love what Diane did today. Diane did some fabulous paper piecing, and the paper piecing's awesome because you essentially make 3 cards at the same time. 3 cards at the same time. Okay, so we are going to put this on here, and we are going to try to center it, and we are going to cut the inside of it out, which we call gutting. We're gutting the inside of it out because most of that is going to be covered up anyways, so why waste that cardstock? And you'll see it on my original right there. I took the inside of it out, the center of it out. And I'm going to run it through a couple times because this cardstock is pretty thick. And I do have my self-healing mat on there. And sometimes when I have the self-healing mat, it's a little squishy, so it doesn't get as clean of a cut. But I think we're good. So we're going to punch that out. There's our frame. Throw the die to the side. We are done with the die. There's our frame piece that we're going to start with. And then we're going to look for this red. Oh, I love it. Kathy says the new EK trimmer has a 4+ break. So that means she can do 6 inches on hers. You can read it. Oh, perfect timing for that. Okay. Red, we're going to cut it 4 3/4 by 6. So it's going to frame inside of that. So 4 3/4. By 6. And our piece of paper should already be 6 inches. Already be 6 inches. Okay, so then that piece is going to get glued down to your black hole. We are covering the hole. So I'm just going to put a thin bead right now of adhesive just around the outside. It's probably not going to hold it because it's white glue and I'm on glitter, but I just need to hold it until I get it down on a card base. Okay, good enough. So I have a little bit of glitter, black glitter all the way around the outside. Isn't that gorgeous? I love that black glitter. Oh, I love, black makes everything just pop. The colors are amazing. Okay, the next piece you're going to look for is your hearts. Your hearts. And this piece is going to be 4 1/2 by 5 3/4. And when you cut your 4 1/2, you want to make sure your hearts are going up and down. We don't want any sideways hearts, okay? So 4 1/2 with your hearts going right side up. I love this paper. I think this was my second favorite piece of paper in here. The other one was the red one with the white hearts. And then 5 3/4. So we're just cutting off that little circle at the top. We're not going to use it this time. Okay, and then this is also going to get glued down flat to the red. So for the black, we have just a little itty bitty edge of border. And then for this one with the hearts, we're going to have a larger red border. So my borders are not the same size. I like to mix large and small borders together. They're not always 1/8 of an inch or 1/16 of an inch. I like to mix them, okay? So there is that. How's everybody doing? Got it? Okay, so our next thing is we got to punch this guy out. So you can totally save all these black pieces that you're punching out and put them in another one of these frames. and do like a negative. So then you're making 2 cards at once, because these pieces are so gorgeous that you don't want to waste them. I'm telling you. I think we're going to go over just a hair, but I do want to kind of complete this card because we're almost there, guys. We almost got it. So I want to thank everybody too, as we're punching, for joining Crafty Hours and being part of this community and joining us twice a month and doing the Crafty Hours. And thank you so much for those of you guys that purchase the kits to kind of support us. That's why we keep doing them for you guys. So tomorrow's Crafty Hour number 82, wow, 82, will be announced tomorrow at 11 o'clock Central. And we've already created the event and posted it on both of our Facebook pages. So you guys can go over there and mark that you're going. Acetate. Our acetate needs to be the same size as your frame. You can do this one or two ways. You can go ahead and cut your acetate. It's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Or you can put your pop dots on here. You can glue it down and then take your scissors and trim it, which is what I'm going to do, because I want to make sure I have enough that I don't cut myself short, if that makes sense, right? So what we're going to do is you got to get out all those little, oh, where are my foam dots? Oh, we got to put the acetate down first. Sorry. Before we put the foam on. So we're going to use our skinny score tape. Skinny itty bitty. This is the one that is 1/8 of an inch. 1/8 of an inch. And we're going to put score tape all the way around the outside edges. So we're making a shaker window. Thank you, Lynn. Okay, I'm at the end of my roll. I had to restock all my adhesive today, guys. I was like about out too. Let me find my score tape. I was out of everything. Say, it's all fun and games until you run out of the good adhesive. We've been doing virtual trade shows. I think it was like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. We were here doing virtual trade shows, and I was trying to use what I had left, because sometimes companies send us some to try out and sample and see if we like it and see if it's something we want to stock in our stores. And let me tell you guys, life is too short for crappy adhesive. I threw a bunch of it in the trash. It didn't stick, or the foam tape was really sticky and it messed up my scissors. I'm telling you, life is too short for the, and I'm a strong believer too. You get what you pay for. If that bottle of adhesive was only $1, I'm going to guess it's not good. I keep seeing it. Okay, and then we're going to stick that down to the acetate. And I don't want to preach to the choir, but I keep seeing in some of the, I joined some junk journaling Facebook groups, and I'm watching some of their comments, and they're like, oh, I love this adhesive. And then they're posting, oh, well, now I'm angry at the adhesive because my entire journal fell apart and I have to redo it all. Well, yeah, you got your adhesive from Dollar General. It's not going to stick and it's not going to last. So just get the good stuff and do it once, because now you have to rebuy your adhesive and you have to do it again. And Lord knows we're already behind on our projects, that we don't have time to do the same project twice. So that's I need a sign. Life is too short for crappy adhesive. I used to laugh when I would see the ones this little quotes that says, I love you so much, I use the good adhesive on your card. So true. So true. I use the good adhesive. Okay. Anyways, there's our acetate. We've got the acetate on there. We're going to flip her over. And now we are going to put our foam strips on. And this one, since it had a lot of open space, was a little tricky. So I'll kind of show you what I did. Because when you put it on, just having the foam tape on the outside edge, it's like the center of it kind of bowed a little bit because all the foam tape was on the outside edges. So I took and cut some of my strips, just a little skinny, and put them here. I kind of spot checked it to kind of hold them up so they don't squish, okay? I just kind of put them here and here. That way it doesn't squish and it holds that panel up, because that is a good size panel, guys. Okay, now I'm going to make sure I'm on the back side. So flip her over, put her to the back side, and we're going to put our foam all the way around the outside edge. Okay, all the way around the outside edge. And that is the end. When you get to the end, there's like a fat guy. We're going to save that fat guy for later. Okay, so let me get some more foam. Okay, how's everybody doing? Are you guys crafting along? Are you just watching? Either way, thank you for joining. Make sure, like I said, make sure to post. Ooh, I feel like this one's thicker than my other one. Make sure to post your creations. We love to see what you guys are making and creating. And then if you ever need to catch the replays, Facebook does delete these videos in 30 days now. So the way around it, we are now posting them to our YouTube channel. So if you go to our YouTube channel, you will see 80, nope, this one's number 80. You will see 79 crafty hours. 79 crafty hours for both stores. So you can always go over and grab them there and catch them on the replay. Oh, thank you, Julie's watching and getting ideas. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, we're going to go over just a little bit here, but that's okay. I wanted to make it through definitely the interactive part of the other card because I wanted to make sure everybody successfully completed that mechanism. And wasn't that a fun kind of pop? And like I said, experiment with other shapes. I can't wait to see what you guys do, but I think a shamrock would totally work in there too. It'd be adorable to see. So just kind of play and have fun. So like I said, down here, kind of these guys, what I did is I just kind of cut this strip in half. It is funny, when we talk to our adhesive companies and stuff, and this company in particular, we're like, oh, we love this, but we want it smaller, or we want it thinner. And they're like, seriously? How do you want to go smaller? And that's where the micro dots came from, the itty bitty little micro dots. Yeah, so we asked, we're like, we love your dots, but we want smaller. And they're like, but you can barely see them. And we're like, yes, we want micro dots. So we have a list of adhesives and things that we've been asking for from them. So hopefully we'll see some new ones coming out shortly from Scrapbook Adhesives. Okay, so let's grab our card. Make sure all the dog hair, cat hair, all that on there. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Joanne. I know. Those are not fun cards to make either. Sympathy cards, I feel like, are ones that I like to have made in advance. And then that way I can just give it to someone. I don't like to have to make a sympathy for somebody. Okay, because we have foam right here, I'm going to put my little sequins kind of up at the top. And the reason for this is if I put them down kind of at the bottom and then I peel this off and stick it, I might be gluing my sequins down. And I don't want to do that. So I'm going to put my sequins kind of at the top. And then we're going to peel off all of our foamies. Right? The little tiny micro ones are great foams. They are great. They're great for the back of those little itty bitty butterflies and just those little bitty things that you want to pop. They are perfect. We gave them all kinds of ideas. So hopefully we'll see what they come up with, but we gave them lots of ideas to run with. Okay, so then that piece, my goodness, the static electricity is wild tonight, guys. There's dog hair and fuzz all over it. So then we're just going to look down through the center of it. We're going to try to center it as best as we can. And then we're just going to press. And then there's our shaker. Isn't that fun? I think this makes a fabulous shaker card. I think it's so cute. So cute. So cute. Okay, so to finish this card up, because we're over time, what I did is you're going to cut out a sentiment, whatever sentiment you want, but I did this square one from there, and I put that over here because I love the kind of burst going out of it. You could just put a little heart there too, which would be adorable, but the sending love came from there, came from this right here, and then on our sticker sheet, I loved this flower set right here. That's the flower, and I put it on Pop Dots, so I popped that up. And then the hearts. I kind of treated the hearts kind of like the little enamel accents that we get from Spellbinders and Simple Stories that have like the small, medium, and large, and we like to scatter them. There was different size hearts kind of all throughout here. So that's what I did here. I kind of scattered the little hearts, and then I don't know if you can tell, and I'll get closer to the camera. Again, I went in with my glaze and glue or glossy accents or whatever you have, and I put the glossy on them so you can kind of see how they shine, so they look more like an enamel sticker. So the glaze and glue and the glossy accents are a great way to kind of kick your stickers up a notch. And let me grab one more thing I'll show you. So totally different project, but I use the same kind of product, and I want to show you. See this butterfly here? This is just cut out of paper. This is just paper cut out of Ciao Bella. And the center of the butterfly wings, we put that glaze on there, and it just adds a little bit of enamel to it, a little bit of depth, and it just really makes it pop. So you can also put them on your pattern papers and stuff to kind of just add accents and stuff. All right, so that's our Crafty Hour number 80 for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining me and crafting along for the hour. I cannot wait to see what you guys come up with and what you create. Make sure to join our Facebook group called Crafty Hour Creations, where you guys can post your creations and then all the extras that you run with and make different ideas and inspirations. We love to see all that. So feel free to post in that group, and have a fabulous night, everybody. As always, happy crafting, and we will see you tomorrow for the reveal of Crafty Hour number 82 at 11 o'clock Central on Facebook. We already have the event created, so you can click that you're going to get a reminder from Facebook. These kits are in stock now, and they are limited. They are more big bundle deals that we've put together. So when the product is gone, it is gone. And there are a few kind of add-ons that are going to match and coordinate with that too. So make sure to tune in, and we will see you tomorrow, guys. Bye-bye.